Welcome again to our YouTube channel, Bold and Faithful Perspective. Are you disciplined? Do you have a disciplined life? Can you keep a secret? Christian life calls for a disciplined lifestyle. Or whoever calls himself or herself a Christian ought to live a disciplined life. In general, Christian life is a disciplined life. It's a life of discipline, a life of intentionality, that you live with an intentionality, a life of self-mastery, a life of spiritual rigor. That a Christian life is a disciplined life, a life that is lived with intentionality, a life of intentionality, self-mastery, and spiritual rigor. Without discipline, Christian life loses direction and its depth. A Christian life without discipline loses its direction and depth. In a nutshell, if you want to thrive in any aspect of life, whether it's in business, whether in social life, whether it's in spiritual life, whatever aspect of life you want to thrive in, you ought to be disciplined. Discipline is an essential character, or discipline is at the center of any lifestyle that has to thrive. Ask me about undisciplined life. Oh boy, I can tell a story. I can write books on a life that is not disciplined. In one way or another, we find ourselves not so disciplined. We do things that we don't like. We do things that we don't think about. We do things that we hate. Sometimes we are not disciplined. So not everybody has led a disciplined life. In one way or another, once in a while, in a few moments or many moments, we have not been disciplined enough to claim to have led a disciplined life. You may have a disciplined life in one aspect, but in another, you are very weak. But life of a Christian calls for discipline. Discipline brings about what we call delayed gratification. That sometimes we delay our gratifications because we are disciplined. We don't want instant, short-term gratifications, but we want a gratification that fulfills, a gratification that dignifies a person. Delayed gratification. But sometimes our hearts yearn for what the world calls happiness. Our hearts yearn for what the world, what humanity, what the common person in the world calls happiness. Our hearts yearns for that. We want to be as happy as anybody else. We want the things of the world. We want to be happy. We want to be joyful. It is unusual for human longing not to yearn for happiness. It is very unusual that human longing is not yearning for happiness. But it is a universal longing that all of us have for happiness, for comfort, for joy, for the happiness of the world. We seek this happiness through an array of adventures. We seek this happiness through an array of adventures, as many adventures as possible. We seek this happiness through array of experiences, relationships, accomplishments, that we seek this happiness even through accomplishments. What we have accomplished: success in studies, success in business, success in career, in family, accomplishments. We seek this happiness through an array of adventures, experiences, relationships, accomplishments, possessions, what we have. You have a good house, a good car, good clothes, you have a nice place where you stay. Possessions, they bring this short-term happiness. We seek this happiness through all these things. But for more happiness, one has to increase discipline in life. That despite all this happiness that we have received this happiness. We have a house, we have a car, we have a good place to stay, we have good food. We have accomplished we are accomplished academicians, we are successful in our business, we are successful in our career. But for more happiness that dignifies a human being, that dignifies a human person, one has to increase discipline in his life. For more happiness, beyond this world happiness, to receive the happiness that dignifies a human person, one has to increase discipline in his life. One of the most profound ways to grow in discipline is through governance of speech. One of the most profound ways to grow in discipline in life is through governance of speech. Because words shape reality. Our words shape reality. They build up or they tear down. They console or they hurt, they wound. Learning to control your tongue, learning to control your speech is at the heart of Christian discipline. Learning to control our tongues, learning to control our speech is at the center, is at the heart of Christian discipline. The tongue may be a very small, tiny part of our body, tiny organ, but it can set the course of your life, whether positively, negatively. Let me ask you a question that I asked in the beginning. Can you keep a secret? Can you keep a secret? It is not easy to keep a secret. It requires restraint, discipline, and massive self-control to keep a secret. It's not easy to keep a secret. How many people do you hear, or have you heard, or do you know who can keep a secret in life? Do you know a person around you who can keep a secret? Are you one of those who can keep a secret? Sadly, there are very few people in the world who can keep secrets. It is a consequence of the undisciplined life that we are unable to keep secrets. that because of our undisciplined life, we are unable to keep secrets, even when we are promised to do so. It is not just a social problem. Not keeping a secret is not just a social problem. But also, it points to a spiritual crisis that a Christian faces. It's not only on social aspects of life, but it points to a deeper aspect of our spiritual crisis, that we are unable to keep secrets, we are unable to be disciplined, we are unable to control our speech, we are not able to control our tongue, because the most profound way to grow in discipline is through governance of our speech. Loose speech, gossip, rash comments, broken confidences, and an inability to be discreet lead to undermining our integrity and fracture our trust. Loose speech, gossip, rash comments, broken confidences, and the inability to be discreet in life undermines our integrity, and they fracture the trust that is given to us. Have you ever had people beginning conversations by saying, "I was not supposed to tell you this. I was not supposed to tell anybody, but I will have to tell you. I was not supposed to tell anybody, but I will have to tell you this." Or, "I know, I said I will keep this to myself, but I have to say it. I have to tell you. I have to tell someone." Or, worse still, one asks you, or a person comes and asks you, "Can you keep a secret?" After which, this person proceeds to reveal the secret he or she promised to keep. This person promises to keep a secret, but because of undisciplined life, not governing his or her own speech, this person says or asks you, "Can you keep a secret? I'm not supposed to tell anybody this, but I have to tell you. I know I said I will keep this to myself, but I have to tell someone." Or, "Can you keep a secret?" And this person goes forth to reveal the secret he or she promised to keep. Undisciplined life. Indeed, I suspect that many of us have done this too, or have revealed secrets that we promised to keep. We have told somebody else, and we have asked that somebody to keep it a secret, and that somebody will go to another person and reveal the same and ask the other person to keep it a secret. So it's no longer a secret anymore. Anyway, are you able to become a person who can consistently hold confidences? Can you be held as a confidant? Are you a person who is able to hold consistently confidences confined in you or confined in you by somebody? The answer should be yes. You are able and you can, if only you have a disciplined life. Controlled and disciplined tongue, controlled and disciplined speech strengthens character, deepens relationships, increases patience, expands capacity for perseverance, and stimulates self-awareness. Let us take it again. Controlled and disciplined tongue, or controlled and disciplined speech, strengthens character, deepens relationships, increases patience, expands capacity for perseverance, and stimulates self-awareness. Discipline acquired by governing your speech. Discipline that we acquire by governing our speech. Discipline that we acquire by controlling our tongue, by controlling our speech, becomes transferable. That discipline is transferable to other areas of our lives. That discipline we have acquired by controlling our tongue, controlling our speech, disciplined speech, disciplined tongue, that strengthens character, that deepens relationships, that increases patience, that expands capacity for perseverance, and stimulates self-awareness, becomes transferable to other areas of our lives. Therefore, my brothers and sisters, control your tongue, and you will find it easier to control, for example, your temper, your anger. You may find it easier to control your spending. You may find it even easier to control your reactions. That discipline can be transferable to other things like controlling of temper, controlling our expenditure or spending, controlling our reactions to issues and things around us. That discipline can be transferable to other areas of our lives. That discipline that we acquire through controlled tongue, disciplined speech. Indeed, a wise man is a master of his words, and a wise woman governs her tongue. A wise man is a master of his words. A wise woman governs her tongue. Disciplined speech is at the core of Christian life and life in general. Disciplined speech is at the core of Christian life and life in general. A controlled tongue changes the life positively. It changes people and transforms Christians and places the Christians in the route to sainthood. That a controlled tongue changes life positively. It changes people, for they become more disciplined, more focused, spiritually focused, spiritually controlled. It transforms Christians and places them on the route to sainthood. My dear brothers and sisters, can you keep a secret? Then start keeping a secret for a disciplined life. Be disciplined and spiritually grow into saints. Be disciplined and spiritually grow into saints. So, my brothers and sisters, once in a while ask yourself if you can keep a secret. May God bless you and embrace you. May you live a disciplined life, a controlled speech, controlled tongue, changes life, changes people positively, transforms Christians, and places the Christians in their route to sainthood. For a controlled tongue, a disciplined speech, a controlled tongue, disciplined speech strengthens character, deepens relationships, increases patience, expands capacity for perseverance, and stimulates self-awareness. And this discipline is transferable to other areas of our lives. May we start by controlling our tongue, by controlling our speech, because one of the most profound ways to grow in discipline is through governance of speech. May God bless you and embrace you.